The challenge of creating the mirror maze in Edinburgh is to capture the tremendously exciting story. They had tunnels and catacombs underneath the castle itself, and on one occasion they sent a little drummer boy in under to go and explore them, and they said, don't trust us, just keep drumming gently away. And he drummed, and it got fainter and fainter until the drumming stopped, and the little boy was never seen again. And this was such a powerful idea, story, absolutely a horrific story of a child disappearing forever under a castle, that we designed the whole mirror maze around this idea of going down these narrow tunnels and passages, whichever way you went, getting lost and no hope of ever escaping. Tremendously exciting story. One of the fascinating things about going into a mirror maze is that you see 6 reflections of everything, including yourself. So it's very good for the ego and it's huge fun. And most of the forbidden pathways are actually impossible paths through sheets of glass, but you don't know which ones they are. And so you wander around exploring it, and every single cell you move, every single step you take, is a completely new set of choices, mostly completely misleading. A mirror maze is one of the most compelling experiences. When people come into a mirror maze, you just look at their faces and they burst into smiles and laughter. And the sheer delight of wandering through and exploring this very unusual space with sound effects and light and imagination, it never fails to excite and thrill. And families just love doing it together. And we have people who stay here for 45 minutes if you can't move them on, because it's so compelling. In a mirror maze, whichever way you turn and whichever way you look, you can never quite be sure what's real.
My role is the keeper of the haunted labyrinth in the Edinburgh dungeon, and basically I ensure the safety of all who pass through this labyrinth. Tommy Peasel was a pickpocket and a drummer boy, and he was caught thieving up on the castle esplanade. He was then taken, and instead of being punished by being deported to Australia, he was sent into a secret tunnel which had been recently discovered under the Royal Mile. Well, he went in there and he didn't come back out. Some of the soldiers listened to him all the way down the Royal Mile, beating his drum as he went, and sadly, it disappeared when he reached the South Bridge. No one knows what happened to him, but he's made a reappearance here in the Edinburgh dungeon now.
I think the maze is fantastic. It's something that's very new to what we've got in Edinburgh. We've done a lot of capital projects over the year, but this is by far the most adventurous that we've done. The appeal of the maze to visitors is it's a sort of getting lost sensation, and it's something that we've been trying to aim for in the dungeon, and you can truly get lost in the dungeon. The experience that we have in the Edinburgh Dungeon is quite varied. Some of the shows that we have are very historical. The maze allows us to tell the story of Tommy Peasel, who was sent down from Edinburgh Castle down through the Royal Mile, banging his drum. So it allows us to bring a bit more history into the dungeon, but in such a unique way. We're going to open just before Easter, and I think that the public will really take to it.
Court's in session. You have all been brought here today to stand trial for thy wicked and thy blasphemous crimes against the Church and Crown of Scotland. Each count against your name is as evil as Lucifer and as traitorous as Judas himself. For this very reason, you miserable piles of puke, you shall feel my very heavy hand of the law upon your head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Welcome to the Edinburgh Dungeon.
Hello there everyone, and welcome to my croft. My name's Alistair MacDonald, and right now we're trying to flee from those murderous Campbells.
I'm looking for vampires. Have you seen any?
Yes, lower intestines, and there we have it. The heart! Mwah! Hunting for cannibals, are you? No! Hunting for cannibals, are you? No! I'm coming to eat you! No!